Welcome to LEXperts Smarter Fleets. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to Graham Kay, Fleet Manager at Portakabin, about incorporating used EVs into your fleet and how the Lex Used Portal can help you make the right choices. So firstly, Graham, how are used EVs part of your fleet?
Used EVs are becoming more and more popular now on our fleet. That'd be for driver engagement, trying to increase flexibility for our drivers and getting them into an EV quicker than it would be for a new supply vehicle.
On the portal, what do you think of the choice then? Like, do you see enough choice?
Yeah, it gives more solutions to us.
So you obviously use the portal then for visibility of what's there for your drivers?
Yeah. So ultimately it's a live list as we see it. So from that portal then we can look at what fits aligned to our sort of monthly rental allowances, still give the driver some good choices. We'll pick three, 4, 5 different vehicles to give them that opportunity. Then they get to, unlike a new car where you can really customise it, we're giving them a few options on colours, on different models, makes, and try and make it as much as buying or leasing a new car as possible. And don't get me wrong, people like a new car, don't they? They look forward to it. Is there any plans to grow the portal to offer more?
Yeah, so we're obviously really keen on customer feedback on the portal. So we've implemented things like different filters because we listen to what the customers are saying, because it depends what's important. So costs can be really important to some customers. Range can be really important because obviously it impacts your drivers. So what we're trying to do is adapt that portal, change some of the filters, I suppose grow what we show on there to try and help customers make more informed decisions about used. Quite recently we've changed some of those filters to just make the navigation easier.
Yeah, and the length of time then of lease, is that going to be at a limit of, so if we take on a vehicle that's maybe 5 years old now, that's low mileage use, what's the maximum that can be?
So everything on the actual portal is 4 years and under 50,000 miles. Someone could then take a 4-year lease out, and then obviously when the vehicle returns, it'll be 8 years.
So 8 years is the maximum?
Yeah, so 8 years currently is our maximum. So the portal gives you flexibility though. Typically, the older the vehicle, the less the rental will be. So we give, I suppose, on the portal a real mix. So if you want a newer used vehicle, is our term, newer used?
Yeah.
A newer used vehicle, and that's on there. And then you've got, the older used vehicles, depending on what customers want. And then when you think about mileage, most battery warranties are obviously 100,000.
Yes.
So we stay within those guidelines.
The first question you get asked is, what's the battery state? And I think it's obviously going to vary because the vehicles on the portal are, they can range from 5,000, 10,000 miles up to 30,000 potentially sometimes.
And we do battery testing, interestingly, on the used fleet. So we test, and anything above 85% goes on the portals. And we talked a minute ago about, you could lease up to 8 years. Is there any concerns on that? Are you worried about any hidden costs once you get to that stage? Any thoughts on that?
I think the norm has gone where typically we would always lease a vehicle as a standard 4 years, X amount of mileage, then it's replaced. We're seeing less and less downtime with EVs. And when an EV goes wrong, it goes wrong. But general service maintenance, there's less to do. Vehicles seem to be off the road a lot less. So 4 years to me is not a long time anymore. So extending them again is becoming norm, and that's something we've just implemented quite recently, making people aware that the norm has now gone.
The other area that we've really focused on is imperfections, as you can imagine.
Yes. And I think that's quite a key piece, isn't it? Because when you're trying to, I think convince is the wrong word, trying to show the new potential user of what vehicle they're getting, we're being open and honest with them, aren't we?
Absolutely.
I think it's, we've had it before when you repurpose a vehicle from someone leaving the business, and you put a new starter or a new user into that repurposed vehicle, there's always going to be a mark or a scratch on there. So I think stop trying to hide behind it and be open and honest.
I think the key word that we used from the start when we first launched the product was transparency.
Yeah.
So we can be as transparent as we can on the condition. And if I'm honest, at first it was difficult to get to what is the right level of transparency. But over the 2 years, we've really kind of learned and adapted. And when vehicles get delivered, take the feedback on board and then adapt the portal again and say, well, actually, maybe we need more imperfection shots alongside, obviously, the beauty shots. So it's been a real mix of, you know, what should we put on that portal as well. So do you think we've got that right now? Would you change anything on that?
I think so. I think everything's there that we're going to need.
Yeah. I hope you found this episode of LEXperts Smarter Fleets helpful. You'll find more episodes on the LEXperts Hub.